to bring to the public, to act as an ambassador, actually, you know, as a peacemaker, as an ambassador towards Scientology and for Scientology, for a better world. If I feel that I am really for a cause, and if I feel fired up about something, I will just do anything possible to really get truth on the line and get the point across. So, you know, if anybody says, well, you're going to have to fight, hey, you know, great.
Busting Sykes is my hat. I chose the hat because it's a game that's big enough and exciting enough and requires a lot of confront.
You tell parents when you put a child on Ritalin that the major complication of withdrawing from Ritalin is suicide, and that is stated right here in your very own handbook, written and published by your industry, the psychiatric industry. Do you go over this with parents?
I always inform parents of the risks and the benefits.
You tell them that suicide is the major complication?
One of the major ingredients of my success has been explaining the religious nature of Scientology to officials, to magistrates, to media, to public, and so forth, while in the same time exposing the enemy's crimes mercilessly. Well, I found out that it was not difficult at all.
I feel exhilarated and I feel well armed. LRH has come up with a technology to get people off drugs like no one in the world has. And when I go into battle, I'm well equipped. And that makes me feel very secure. And I know that I will cause a huge effect in the war on drugs.
As a member of the International Association of Scientologists, it's my intention to make Scientology and Dianetics known to millions of people worldwide, and to get them onto the bridge. In my sport, motorcycle road racing, we intend to make it the first Dianetically oriented sport in the world.
Leaving so soon?
Oh, whenever I need to find you, you're always in some
What's
kind
up,
of trouble.
y'alls? Oh, I didn't hit the thing. Look at me not being a professional stream man. Come on now. Yeah? Come on. There we go. There we go, maybe? Haha! Stream man! Oh, and I also have to turn on audio. I'll figure this out one day. What's up, y'alls? Oh, yes, what was it? Defenders are out? The Defenders? Is it downloading shit? What's going on here? Tweaking volume levels, making sure everything's good. What's up, Alex Joker? Has been a while. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't finish Daredevil Season 2. I didn't finish Luke Cage. Didn't even start Iron Fist. I don't know. Kind of fell off that train, I guess. What's up, House Bricks? Oh, Katie, thank you for the Prime resub. Resonator, thank you for the resub. Thank you, thank you. You know, watch Iron Fist? Yeah. Dark, what is it? Dark Curum? Yeah, bye! Good luck with your hairs. Stephanie's gonna go get her hair did.
Yes, goodbye, Internet.
Goodbye, Internet. Oh, no, wait. She says, I'm still here. Stop watching The Matrix to watch this. Oh, you shouldn't have done that, man. I promise you The Matrix is better. I'm going to try to push through to the end of the game. I don't know how many more levels there are. 2 to 3, maybe? I played a couple on my own time. Didn't watch Iron Fist, and they actually make fun of it in Defenders, so none of the writers know it sucks. Really, Griffin? Okay. That's interesting. Now, I wanted to finish Daredevil Season 2 because I know Punisher comes back, and that's the big thing I care about. There's a 60-second fight in Iron Fist, and we lost track of the number of cuts. It was real bad. Yuck. That's... Yeah, that sounds like it's... Okay.
Vega will walk you through the process.
Vega's gonna talk. Come on, Vega, tell me shit. Talk to me, daddy. Or don't, fine. I need to, AI, self-taught. Vega begin gathering data from a system over time. Effective method. Processing Argent Plasma and Argent Energy. Sure. I need to read through all the fucking... I still haven't done that. I figure I'll beat it, and then I'll read through all the lore. Catch up. What's up, Katie? Hey, Defiant Cookies, I'm pretty good. Every time Iron Fist brings up his powers, they shit on him. But he's got, like, super punches and stuff, right? That's pretty funny. I mean, I feel like at the outro, Jessica Jones would be the one that they're all making fun of. Although, she's actually pretty... We're gonna kill Vega? No! Dang. Oh man. I forgot you gotta kill Vega. Hey, Grizzle Boar, thanks for that resub. Daredevil Season 2 suffers from the Marvel movie syndrome. Enemies have the same skill set as the hero. Season 1's interesting because you fight against armed men rather than kung fu peeps. Jessica Jones was fun because she fought against someone who was a mind control person. Yeah, I mean, Jessica Jones was cool because it wasn't about strength. It was about manipulation and, like, mental struggle, which I thought was super cool. I think in a lot of ways it was a superhero story, and I hate to be so stereotypical, but it was like it's kind of a superhero story for women, you know? It was basically like an abusive ex-boyfriend, which is, I think, a story that resonates more, again, very stereotypically, with women, whereas dude stories are about strength. It's about inner strength, it's about training, it's about sacrificing more than your opponent. It's all very, like, blunt. Not a whole lot of nuance to a lot of, like, dude power fantasy. It's just, I punched him hard, he punched me hard too, and then I punched him even harder. And then I won because I hard punched. Where Jessica Jones was more about, like, somebody willingly manipulating your life because of all the insecurities that they have. And it's a different kind of pain, it's a different kind of combat. So I like that. David Tennant's confirmed for Season 2. I wonder if he'll be in hallucinations for Jessica because they've brought back to life that kind of ruins the other Season 1. Yeah, Griffin, I agree. Woo! Defiant Cookies! Thanks for the sub! Which means I'm gonna play some jams. Did not know there's snow levels in Doom. Yeah, I forgot. Apparently it's way at the end of the game. So hold on, I've gotta load up my shit. What's up, Capricornetto? Hello. Really hope he doesn't get brought back. I'd be okay with it being like a figment of Jessica's imagination or like a visitation of her insecurity. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think that fits in with the themes of it too. You know, the whole ex-boyfriend thing. If you've been through a bad breakup, sometimes that comes back. Like, you'll dream about it, or you'll hear things in a certain voice. It's creepy. Human beings are kind of weird, but that shit's happened to me. So I could see, with what Jessica went through with, what was it, Kilgrave? I love that there was also a line in the show where they made fun of his name, because I was like, good. That's too stupid to not call out. I could see it being like that, like in a moment of weakness when you know, and they also set up that she's got, you know, sort of mental troubles, self-confidence issues, maybe borderline depression. I could see in a moment of weakness that voice, that image comes back into her mind and starts telling herself things that are bad about herself. I think it's interesting that Jessica Jones, she was her own savior. Yeah. I thought that show was great because it was the power struggle and it was the sort of finding strength from within, and not in that, like, I'm a dude and I've trained so hard but I'll get up and do just one more push-up kind of thing. It was an actual change of character that resulted in strength, which I thought was super cool. There's a lot of things I really liked about Jessica Jones. I thought it was a great show. I know some people didn't like it. That's cool. All right, but we got a sub-hype to play. Defiant Cookies. He's thrown money to me, so I will throw a jam to him. Thank you. Please enjoy. You like seeing me outside of Funhaus character, more human? Everybody's human, you know. But yeah, I understand that. I think it's weird because fans sometimes talk about the dissonance between I know who you are, you don't know who I am, so that makes meeting a little strange. In the same way, I know who I am, but they kind of also still don't know me, and so it's kind of weird to me to remind myself that no one knows who I am when I'm at home. Like, they don't know who I am as a person. Did my donation go through? Probably. Mr. Mar, I don't have any kind of notifications for donations, so I hope I made that as clear as I could in the screens and prompts and stuff, if you followed that through. But yes, thank you for the free money. I'm sure it did go through. Oh. Okay. Oh, Illman. Illmanor. That's a good name. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Not religiously checking the map like I used to. I missed a Doom guy! This is why I need to check the map much more. Dang it. Oh, that's right. Also, the Doom does this weird thing where it doesn't really bound the mouse. Let me see if I can get back up there. I don't think I can make this jump. No. That's kind of the bummer. Kind of a bummer. As the game goes on, there are more and more sections of the game where you can't go back. There are like level moments of no return. It looks like I can climb my way back up there, though. That's good. There were a couple of like doors that would shut and not open again. And that stuff is a real mood killer if you're trying to 100% something. Not that I am, but I was for a minute. I have a whole 8-person chocolate cake to myself. Nice. Sixth Senseless, you are a hero. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Alright. Huh, okay. It's gotta be a platform I can jump to. I think I see it. Yeah, I gotta get over there. That's weird. I thought no? I guess I didn't actually try to jump over here. Okay. How many hours does this game take to beat? Podpuda said, if you blitz through the levels, like you don't try and get collectibles like this, which are really cute. I hear a BFG cell. There you are. Quick guy. If you just blitz through it, you could probably finish it in 6 hours. If you 100% it, maybe more like 8 to 9. If you want to play through it on hard, or the harder difficulties, 10? It really depends on your skill level. Because you might get stuck on certain fights, replay them multiple times, and that will certainly... Berserk. Some dead motherfuckers. Guess I gotta punch this. Anyone still playing multiplayer? I don't know. I didn't mind it. I thought it was fun. Is that gun model a setting? I always remember being to the side like most games. Yeah, it's just a menu option. You can set it to the middle. They got their roots. They know what they're doing. I'd still like to see another Doom, or at least more Doom content announced. Man, I'm getting all fucked up here. Ah! God damn. Being in the middle isn't the best idea, it turns out. Shit. Getting tagged a lot in the back. Nothing. Need more murders. More. Oh, there you are. Oh. Jesus Christ. Just fucking right hook a demon so hard he explodes. It is the perfect video game. What is that? Oh, and invulnerability. Alright. I'm probably using these way too early. Where are you? There. Hey! They're not gonna make me fight in this room anymore? I hear another BFG cell. They're giving me a lot of stuff. It's probably when I pull the next lever, I bet more enemies are gonna come out. What was it like the first time you met with Rooster Teeth for starting Funhaus? I wasn't in most of those meetings. Most of the really early stuff. I do remember it being pretty heated when we were trying to exit Machinima, because they were not explicitly but very implicitly threatening a lawsuit if we left. So that elevated tensions all around. We didn't want to bring a lawsuit to Rooster Teeth or to Fullscreen. You know, and from their perspective, we weren't, you know, we're not worth that. We're not worth getting sued over. We're just some dudes who were going to make a YouTube channel and hopefully make some money. So I do remember some pretty intense telephone conversations about how to handle it. An unnamed fellow on the Rooster, or then on the Fullscreen side of things, was insistent that we be a little more aggressive, like just walk out, is basically what we were told at some point. Just walk out, leave. Which probably would have worked out. Oh boy. I don't think that advice was necessarily wrong. Well, Jesus. Fuck. Oh, there's a summoner. Okay. Good. Come on. There we go. I'm gonna get to a point where I can... that'll work. Didn't kill shit! No, I needed the health. They became Funhaus right after we joined Rooster Teeth. Yeah, that's correct. We launched that channel when we started, basically. There wasn't really a phase where we were employed at Rooster Teeth and weren't working on it. Which is interesting. That was... There was a bit of... it's funny how things have turned out now that there's a whole Let's Play network, but at the time, there was a bit of consideration that, like, well, I did hear the rationale, which makes sense. Some people at Rooster Teeth were like, well, we already have a Let's Play channel, why do we need another one? We don't want them to compete with each other. And that totally makes sense. I think Rooster Teeth is pretty smart about doing one thing and doing it well and not dividing their attention among 5 or 6 different versions of the same thing. Which incidentally is why we don't do gaming news anymore. So yeah, there was a bit of conversation around that, but we were like, no, you don't, like, we can make it different. You're not going to divide the same audience. We'll bring in new people, and we won't cost Achievement Hunter their audience either. So I think there was some interesting discussions going on, but I think the right decisions were made all around, which is, let me tell you, very rare. Very rare. Especially when you're, you know, meeting up with new people and you don't really have a workflow. Don't have a workflow established yet with them. Like, you don't have an understanding, you don't trust each other's intuition yet. So yeah, it's actually, looking back on it, couldn't be more happy with how things all worked out. Then why did they get Game Attack? Well, that happened, so the Screw Attack thing is different. Fullscreen acquired Screw Attack before they acquired Rooster Teeth. Because I think Fullscreen wanted to move into the gaming space. So Screw Attack was the first acquisition they did to that regard. And then they got Rooster Teeth with it, which ended up basically being the gaming wing of Fullscreen that they wanted. I don't know anything else beyond that. I remember talking with Craig when Screw Attack was about to get acquired and stuff like that. Or had just gotten acquired. I'm gonna presume, It was off the success of Death Battle, mostly. That's what drove it. Captain Turtle, thank you for the Prime sub. So yeah, was the rebranding to avoid a lawsuit threat? Well, I mean, no. I mean, sort of. That rebranding is just necessary in general. We certainly couldn't have taken Inside Gaming, because that belonged to Machinima, and they kept trying to use it for years, despite our efforts to warn them that that was a terrible idea. No, and it's just a good idea, you know, if you're walking away from something. We were very adamant that brand didn't matter all that much, and people at Machinima thought otherwise. They thought that they had a lot of equity banked up in the logo and the name Inside Gaming. We told them you absolutely do not, and when we leave it's dead, and you shouldn't waste money trying to... Could have called it Outside Gaming, yeah. We joked about that. Do we talk to the new Inside Gaming people? Stephanie is personal friends with Brandon Winfrey, who, they used to work together when she was at Insomniac. So I wouldn't say that I talk to him much, but he's a cool dude. I like him, and I catch up with him every chance I can. Awesome. And Chloe seems like a cool person too. I don't know her that well, but I'd like to. I don't think they necessarily made bad content either. That's the thing. I thought they did a good a job as could be expected. I think that they were handed a losing hand that they had nothing to do with. And I also think that they weren't really given the opportunity to create something of their own, which is what they should have done, or should have been able to do, and I put that more at Machinima's fault than theirs personally. They had big shoes to fill? I mean, yeah, sorta. It was just... I'm not saying that, like, we were so good and nobody could top that. There's just no reason. It's just a misunderstanding of what people valued and why they watched. But then again, Machinima never really understood. Classically misunderstood their own audience. Fuck me. Shit. Fuck. I hate fighting pinkies in hallways. Jesus. Thought they worked well together, but it just wasn't the right time for them. I mean, yeah, if they had done their own thing and not inherited expectations or had their content put in front of an audience that didn't know them and didn't care about them and had no reason to. Especially, like, the narrative was awful too, because Machinima fucked us, and we were like, we had left on bad terms. And it's like the now this nerd shit. It's like you just communicated to the audience that you suck. And now you're really gonna try to force this down people's throats? That's the worst possible thing. And it sucks for the people who take that as their opportunity. I mean, who would say no to that? If that's the work you want to get into, you're gonna do it. You're gonna try. But it's a failing proposition from the outset, which is a huge bummer. Did you ever play Rage by id? I did. Is there another one behind me? Oh, it's one to use. One to use. Oh, okay. Fuck. I wonder if it would have been better if it was treated like this new Doom, because I enjoyed it but hated how the game just ended. Yeah, no, it wasn't. Didn't seem like it was exactly finished. I don't know. I think Rage was an attempt for id Software to sort of marriage their classic design sensibilities with what they perceived to be expected from modern games at the time. And they weren't wrong. Every AAA game had open world bullshit, had cutscenes. It was definitely I love those fucking propaganda announcements. Oh. Drew Lou, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub.
Unlike everything else in your life, your work here matters.
Oh, another chainsaw. I think it's a combination of, like, the market had not yet expressed that it was willing to tolerate games like this. Games that focused on classic gameplay sensibilities. And I think id Software was also kind of... What is that? Oh, I think it's like an item box? Teleporter? Who cares? It was also sort of, I think, trying to find their footing in modern gaming. They didn't really... They didn't seem to, didn't seem to do all that well in the Xbox 360 PS3 AAA space. Like Ubisoft and Activision, they figured out the formula pretty quick. But I think id Software always had more classic design sensibilities. The irony is, a game like this probably would have done very well at the time. You know, Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a great game, or Demon Souls, I should say, is a great game. But it also benefited from coming out in the right context of a bunch of non-games. A bunch of cutscene, scripted sequence-ridden, Assassin's Creed-style, open-world fluff shit. It was a game that had, like, actual fail states.
A massive supercooled structure was built to house Vega's miles of circuitry and millions of processing centers.
Poor Vega. Dark Souls shade. No shade. The thing is, like, Dark Souls was made before. Demon Souls was not the first Demon Souls. I mean, there was Kingsfield, if you want to put it to From Software, but plenty of games like that around. No, poor guy. But I think it became the savior of gaming that it did, because it proved that the market wanted and was willing to pay money for gaming experiences that were hard and gameplay focused and didn't have long-winded cutscenes and a big glowing arrow telling you where to go. It defied all expectation, and it's a double-edged sword in a weird way. It's a lot of reinforcing the status quo when it comes to, like, what publishers are willing to greenlight. Because it's a shitload of money to put up on a project. So, if it's going to be AAA, you're not going to throw money at something that isn't proven. But how are you going to prove something unless you throw money at it? One of those weird things. Which is why I think, for a long time, Japanese game development was great. Because it never really operated that way. For some reason, Japanese publishers tend to greenlight based on whether something is just a good idea. They're like, this seems like a good thing, so we're going to make it. As opposed to, everyone's playing shooters now, so we're only going to greenlight shooters. Which I think is also why they struggled so much in the 360 PS3 generation. As near as I can tell it was a grand expansion for video games. Which meant you had, like, maybe not a lot of... Oh shit, I didn't mean to break that. Maybe not a lot of, like, beginner gamers, but I think you definitely had a lot of people who were maybe more fascinated in the glitz and showiness of a game, as opposed to the mechanics of it. Like, the more a game was cinematic, the better, because, shit. Because they knew movies. Gaming is always going to be experiment, even after people feel a specific game or console got it perfect in some way. Of course, there is no perfection, Lucky Senpai. It's only... There are things you can get right and wrong, and once you get certain things right, then it's just a matter of taste, you know? There are people who don't like Breath of the Wild. That's fine. But I don't think you could say that that game is... anything about it's bad or done wrong. People have strong opinions about, like, weapon degradation, which I get. But there's a trade-off. And absolutely, if that wasn't in the game, it would be a different kind of game. It would be Skyrim. Well, Skyrim-ish. I don't like Skyrim. I don't like, quote-unquote RPGs where, like, you end up using the same gear the entire game because you found one laser sword in one dungeon randomly. There's a couple ways to do it, right? Three major ways as far as I can tell. You got the Borderlands Diablo method, which is random number generation within a certain boundary. So you allow for rolling the dice particularly well. but you know that that die roll is only going to stick for a while, because once you level up enough, the boundaries of the die rolls are going to go into a new territory, where then invariably you will find better gear. MMOs kind of do the same thing, although they're not as random anymore. It gives you that illusion of progress. Then there's the Skyrim method, which is more of a absolute numeric system. Which means if you find a fire sword that's ridiculously good, it's going to stay ridiculously good for the entire game. And if you have no reason to not use it, you'll use it all the time. Some games get around that by adding, like, elemental weaknesses and shit. Fuck me! Those laser guys just have ridiculous accuracy. They just chip away my health, and I don't know how I can get away with it. I guess I need to not stay in that area. That was my biggest problem with the new Fallout 4, says Griffin. I loved having guns that broke down, you needed to repair them. I had a whole new mechanic on if I should say my best gun because it's almost broken and only has a few shots left. I agree. Interesting choices. That's the thing. That's the key to an interesting game, for me at least, is forcing you to make interesting and meaningful choices. Same thing with Breath of the Wild. Wasn't the weapon degradation mechanic added in a previous Legend of Zelda installment? Not that I remember, no. You have your sword, and you get... Previous Zeldas would have permanent upgrades to that sword. You get the Master Sword, and then you could probably usually upgrade the Master Sword in a couple ways. Ocarina had different swords you could use. But not many. It was definitely not a... It focused more on the action and exploration as opposed to the stats and the inventory management. Yeah, Zaxby, it's not Sunday. Figure that one out. But yes, that is a problem I have with Fallout as well. Modern Fallouts, anyway. Old Fallouts were great because it wasn't the guns, it was the bullets. You didn't have many and they were expensive. So if you could use like an assault rifle and put it in burst mode if you were in some shit. Like if there were 4 dudes and you had to clean house. Then it was time to sort of open up the backpack and start to burn some bottle caps. But mostly if you were just fighting enemies, it was like, okay. It was almost survival horror. It was like, how can I get through this without expending more resources than I take in terms of the caps you find on people. And it was like, a 9mm gun is a 9mm gun. You might find one that's just a little bit better, but it's more about the bullets you have, which I thought was really cool. That's more Fallout 1 and 2. 3 and 4 are much more in the easy mode camp of RPG mechanics, which is why I don't care for them as much. Everyone's a winner when you play Fallout 3 or 4. Alright. No interesting choices, really. And they like, continue to massively simplify the dialogue tree, so you don't even get to say anything interesting anymore. I fully agree with the meme image that's like, Fallout 5 is just a happy face and a sad face. Mass Effect's getting there too. Oh, thank you, Broken Base, for the Twitch Prime sub. So yeah. I don't remember what the original point I was getting at was. Should I just run around and shoot everything? I assumed that every little container thing I popped would spawn a new wave of enemies, but maybe that's not the case. Jesus Christ, bro. It's not the right gun. Missed. Crap. Running out of ammos. Alright. Let's see here. That's odd when you say it out loud, but in regards to free roam, exploration / survival games like Fallout is when games incorporate maintenance, tinkering aspects to the game where things break down, you have to repair, tweak, and maintain things. It sounds utterly tedious when you hear that in your head, but every game that has a mechanic always seems to draw me in. No, you're right. I mean, Groucho, it's a meaningful mechanic. It's like it's juggling a numerical problem on top of the game proper. That's fun. It's something to do, you know? It's a different kind of challenge. And that's one of those things where also when it comes to like spending stat points and stuff, that makes that more interesting. You have to weigh that against like, do I want to do more damage or do I invest in the efficiency of my resource management? Fuck, man! Was there a pinky behind me? Shit, this is gonna be rough. Look at this ridiculous pizza. I will look at that pizza. A taco pizza? That's awesome. What types of games do you feel experiment most with gameplay elements and new technology? RPGs, first-person shooters, open-world exploration, story, narrative selection, multiplayer, etc. I don't know that necessarily there's a genre that is pushing the boundaries in terms of game design. I think indie games are far and away the most experimental. Like Pyre is a new kind of game. It's not necessarily all that new in the sense that you hold a controller and you hit buttons, but oh boy. Ah, shit. Oh, that was a waste. Oh, I already broke that one. I wonder where the other ones are, actually. Oh, they're on the mini-map. What? He's not... What? Yeah, that's weird. Oh, fuck. Why am I... Come on. Put the wrong attachment on this thing. There. Oh, shit. Fuck. Get killed! There. Oh, that's a lot of dudes. Oh, that's a lot of dudes. Woo! I'm out of... No, I have 2 more BFG cells? 3 more. Wow, they're really letting me chain these things. That's the thing. This game would be a lot harder if you didn't have the BFG. That's a stupid thing to say, but... Part of me is like... Once they give you the BFG, and they're pretty liberal with the ammo, it kind of makes a lot of the later combat pretty easy. Because you can clear rooms with it as long as you stack up all the enemies. But hey man, whatever. That'll work. I'll take that. Alright, find some meat. I heard that. Where are you? Okay. Jump, jump! God damn. Oh. I think if there's anything, any axiom of game discussion that I like to focus on, is that all this shit is relative. It's all down to taste. If someone likes... It's not wrong to like Fallout 3 or 4. That's just, for me, I don't care for them. There were certain very fundamental changes to the experience that and the trend of changes also is not the thing that I care for. Thank you, I am the Neckbeard, for the Prime sub. It's a great name. It's good to really embrace it. What's up, Grace? I'm a real gamer. I've played Windows XP 3D Pinball. Space Cadet. That is the real shit right there. Have you played the Ace Attorney games? I have. I played them up until... I played Apollo Justice. I don't think I didn't play the Miles Edgeworth game. That's where I kind of fell off. What if you miss it? I probably should have looked around for secrets in that room. Well, there was armor, an ID card, or a data log. Damn it! That was what I kind of wanted to pick up. Well, whatever, who cares? I'll read it on a wiki or something. That makes sense. No problem. I just ate all those shots. Jesus. Fallout 3 is one of the most overrated games of all time. I think Skyrim is one of the most overrated games of all time. But whatever. We're planning to do a rock stream again sometime. A rock band stream, of course. Morgan Fords. I love that game. Yeah? Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice is top tier, huh? I'm glad to hear that. I always liked those games. Even if they did make me insane a couple of times. Sometimes it was a bit of trial and error to figure out what the fuck you had to do. At least in like the first one I remember was pretty bad. Just like, how the fuck was I supposed to know that? But it got better. It's, you know, I certainly respect that it's a very fine line to walk between giving people the answer and making them feel like they came to the conclusion themselves. Jesus. So many demons. And then I became the demon. Shit. What was that, haste, I think? Ah! Oh! Okay. Ah! Did not expect a fucking pinky to be right there! I have 4 health. Okay, better. Man, fuck off. Oh boy. Need more health, need more health, need more health, need more health, need more health. Fuck. Keep... Ah, shit. Oh! That pinky's still up. Okay, good. Oh, I got more health at some point. Good. Missed. Fuck. Come on. Asshole. We're good? We're good. Okay. If you don't like Skyrim, don't play it. Wish it dead for all those who still enjoy it. Funk. Nah. I'm okay with not playing it. I tried to force it for a while, because at the time I was like, this is the best game ever, and I played it, and I'm like, this is weak shit, man. This is like very handholdy, it's really boring, there's tons of downtime, the story sucks, the writing's not good, the mechanics are garbage, like, there's not... The fights come in 2 flavors, you either just slashing your way through mounds of skeletons that all die, or the one enemy that you have to like fight for 20 minutes and continue pausing to eat 18 cheese wheels, and it's like, nothing about this is interesting. It's just numbers. It's just bashing numbers against numbers. But, if you like it, that's cool. I can certainly see the appeal of a game that is very light on consequence, and not too complicated in gameplay. If you want to just, like, fucking kick back with a beer and walk around in fucking Skyrim and talk to some dudes and go to an inn and drink a digital beer and take a fucking bong rip and just chill out. I'm down with that. I get that. There's a time and a place. You go back and look at Morrowind and I cry every time at how much they've dumbed it down for the mainstream. Yeah, Morrowind was cool because it had those moments. You owned those moments when it's like, there's a quest that's like, there's a cave to the northeast that has some shit in it. That's it. You don't get an arrow. You don't get anything. Go find it. And you go, and then there's a cave. You find it like 20 minutes of just searching around. Of like, going to high ground and looking around and being like, oh, there's a thing over there. Kind of looks like a cave. I'll go check it out. And then you go, and you're like, holy shit, this cave is rough. I need to go back to town. Then you get some potions and like a better sword. And you're like, okay, let's do this cave thing. Oh, Vega. My boy Vega, no. My sweet boy Vega. I forgot about this part. Are you excited for the next Bethesda open world game, or have you given up on them? I think they were finally going to change that Frankenstein engine. Changing the engine would help. Skyrim and Fallout 4 did not look like modern games probably should, and I get that you kind of have to divide an artist's... Fuck me though, look at this hallway. That is a pretty ass hallway. You have to divide an artist's time across the entire game, and games that have that amount of content, that mind-defying amount of content, it's unreasonable to expect that everything is gonna... Oh, look at this giant Vega brain. Oh man. This music is sweet though. Red Dead 2 though, that game's gonna be sweet. I'm alright with that. I appreciate the Red. I hope, man. There's one thing I hate is when they try and put RPG systems into games that don't need them. I was less than enthused with Shadow Warrior 2 about doing that. And the second that, like, you get a fucking revolver, it's like a randomly generated stat revolver in Red Dead, I'm gonna just bash my head against the wall. I'm gonna hate the ending to this game. I've beaten it before. I'm playing it on Nightmare.
Thank you, Vega.
Oh, that's right. You stick Vega into yourself, right? So he doesn't die. It's just like a baby Vega. Do you ever sit back and look at a game like this and see the mega brain and put reality into it and ask who designed this? Of course, Genuine Mind. That's the things that I love. I think that there's so much amazing artwork in games that people brush by because in a game like Doom, it's so good that it fits. That there's this giant crazy spike brain in this smoky, ominous, giant vaulty room. Like, of course there would be. It's Doom. Why wouldn't there be? But, yeah, if you take that out of context, you're like, that is amazing. That is a really weird-looking thing. But somebody just came up with that, drew it, and then somebody modeled it, and they made it look cool. Ah, it's so cool. So, yeah, I think people almost take for granted when games are good, that all parts of it are good, if that makes any sense. And it's not like that happens automatically. It's a lot of agonizing work to pick through every single thing to make sure it's all up to a certain standard. Do you think Red Dead 2's multiplayer will have the same longevity as GTA 5 had? I know it's Rockstar, but something about it being current day makes it easier to add cool functionalities. I don't think Rockstar thought it would last as long as it has. Either way, I'm going to play the shit out of it. GTA Online is its own thing, is my understanding, and also seeing some of the revenue investor announcements that they've done. GTA Online is a big deal. So I think Red Dead will definitely have a companion service similar in nature, if for no other reason than the money is there, and I think that seems to dictate where a lot of these moves come from. But yeah, as far as they update it, I think it'll be a lot of game modes. I think Rockstar can get weird with it. I mean, they did Undead Nightmare, and it's not that they will do that again, but I think it shows that they can step outside of what are thought to be the boundaries of a game setting to make fun content pretty easily. Phenoxy says, I have much of the same problems with Skyrim as Lawrence, but the one thing that keeps me drawing back to the game is, well, mods with the overworld level design. Even though the visual fidelity isn't top-notch, landscapes creates pretty nice views. You know, with enough E&B mods thrown onto it, it is pretty jaw-dropping. Yeah, it's very pastoral. Thank you, RJ Dio, for the sub. Yeah, Bloodborne 2. What is From Software working on right now? I don't remember. Did you ever play or finish Mafia 3? I didn't finish it, no, Groucho. I'm a fan of 1 and 2, but I don't get the hate that Mafia 3 received. It was everything Mafia 2 was, except it had a more interesting setting and actually had stuff you could do other than the main storyline. All you could do in Mafia 2 was rob random shops and drive around. I don't know that it got hate. It just seemed like it was mostly ignored, which I thought was unfair. It was pretty unique. I think the gameplay got a little rote after a while, pretty flowcharty, but no. What's up, Wicker Man? Finished up some D&D, huh? Hope Red Dead's online won't be as popular as GTA 5. I gave up after I caved and gave $10 for cool stuff to the game I already paid $120 for, and then another expensive thing came out, and at that point I put the game down. Yeah, the grind is not cool. I am very lucky in that I get to experience GTA Online under the auspices of work, so I get to buy shark cards if I need to, so we can experience new content. And in that way, it's almost, and I've thought a lot about this, it's almost irresponsible of us to make content of us having tons of fun with all the new GTA content when other people just don't get to play that stuff. Like, they have to grind that shit out, or hope that they fall into a server with a hacker that gives them billions of dollars, and then hopefully not get banned for that. So it's like, we're not really representing the game authentically when we do that. But maybe that's part of the appeal of the content. Other people other people that can't see that content get to watch it at least, and not have to grind out 50 races for it. By the by, Phantom Whale. Oh, the IP's codename, not an actual game. FromSoft's working on a new IP called Phantom Whale. Cool. Good. From Software is too creative to get stuck making Soulsborns forever. I don't dislike them making Soulsborns. I love that they added the demons fighting each other in New Doom. That's such a thing they didn't have to do. Grace, you having problems eating? I live off smoothies with greens powder. That's it. As a bonus, I guess. Aw. Is that a lifestyle choice, or do you have some health complications that are preventing you from eating? Elise goes through a lot of that stuff. I feel so bad for her. A lot of digestive issues. People pay $40 to have an account that has over $5 billion in it. I guess that seems like a pretty neat trade. I guess I didn't consider the account swapping, or I guess real money transactions, RMT as they call them. So there's like, are there really like GTA farmers that farm up accounts with a lot of money and then sell it? I can see that. That makes sense. Man, what a job. And I didn't mean that in like a I'd like to have that job kind of way. Just like, but there's even an economy for that kind of thing is wild. One of those milestones of a cyberpunk future. I just ripped that fucker's head off. Ripped it off with my hands. That guy was warping in. Fucked him up. You have a berserk, you just click like crazy and murder everything. I can't even see what I'm doing anymore. It doesn't matter. Everything dies. Everything dies. I'm the motherfucking Doomslayer. Oh, come here. Good, I wanted to get that last one in. Feel good about that. Ooh, okay. Ooh, wee. What? Okay. I think I got most of them. That was a pretty good run. Alright. German magazine has spoiled THQ Nordic Gamescom surprise. Post-apocalyptic open-world kung fu action role-playing game called Biomutant, which is a bit of a mouthful. That's FromSoft? That is a great combination of words. Also, man, good pickup from THQ Nordic. I like THQ Nordic. Those Nordic games, they're one of those, like, scrappy Middle European publishers slash developers that put out some solid projects. It's one thing to be a dev who kind of doesn't have a vision. It's like, I'm just going to pick up some projects that look good and try and sell them. THQ Nordic was like, no, we know, you can kind of tell sometimes when a publisher publishes certain games. I feel like Devolver is a huge example of this. When it's like, you can tell they have a taste for it. They know what the cool games are, or the games that have promise, or the games that need to be made, as opposed to like all the artsy indie shit. The N-teenth fucking visual novel, or the walking simulator about somebody's wife who was trans and had cancer, and those are great stories, sure. Those are great stories. But there's a whole other angle to indie games too, which is experimenting with the actual mechanics of games making. THQ Nordic was one of those. Oh yeah, Kai Huevos. Devolver's E3 presentation didn't really get the celebration I thought it deserved for being a pretty amazing parody. I think it may have been too weird for people. Maybe a little too out there. But fuck it, man. If you're gonna do something like that, why not? Take it to every extreme you possibly can. Yeah, Darth Cons. The demons in the original Doom would fight each other. That was great. It was a fantastic. That's one of those things to hear John Carmack talk about it now. He's like, yeah, people thought that we had just books and books of AI written for the demons, and like that they all had relationships with each other, and that they would talk to each other and communicate, and that they would like remember which demons had hit them before, and then they would hate that kind of demon in the future. He's like, no, it was like 4 lines of AI. That was it. I think the original Doom is amazing because it's kind of like Super Mario Brothers. It's such a simple game in terms of the mechanics and the art assets and stuff. So simple, but nailed so much about it. Got it so right that it's weird when a game is perfect like that. It enters a different kind of the human headspace where people start to project stories onto it. Kind of like if you get really into chess, people start to associate personality and story with the pieces. And that's because they went through certain journeys with those pieces, went through certain gameplay scenarios, and they sort of associate things. It's kind of natural. But people do that in games too. It's kind of interesting. I don't know that people necessarily associate personality traits with like Tetris pieces, aside from the fucking S and Z pieces being real sons of bitches. These motherfuckers. Astronomic Funkazoid, I love your mouth. Physically, or do you like what's coming out of it? I don't know. Yeah, sorry, Thorny, it's not playing Final Doom. The title's tongue-in-cheek, because this is probably the final time I'm gonna stream Doom. That's what that means. I'm gonna try to beat it. I think this is either the last level or the second to last level. Not sure. I'm chugging on through it though. I want to finish it so I can uninstall it and get my hard drive space back. Destination freeing up gigabytes. This boy, that Doom installer's a real big one. I can't. You're over a chasm. Is this where I'm supposed to go? It is where I'm supposed to go. Okay. What are you gonna stream next? I'm not sure. I'm thinking Wipeout, maybe? I like Wipeout a bunch. I haven't streamed it yet, so... I guess I need to get Sonic, too. Sonic in addition. Seems like 60 gigabytes? I think it might be more than that by now. They've been releasing a lot of multiplayer DLC, which I don't know was exactly the right call for this kind of game, but whatever. That makes sense. I get why somebody made that decision. But yeah, all those assets get downloaded, and the texture resolutions in Doom are very high. Very, very high, and there's a lot of them. There's no repeated rock texturing, which is one of those things that you think doesn't matter. It's just like, this is how games look now. But that means that you can't use one square of rock for all of this. It's all different art assets, and they all have to be pretty high resolution. So it's that, the sound, the language packs, that stuff makes for very large games. I was very surprised they didn't do something like Wolfenstein and release single-player DLC like Old Blood. Yeah, I mean, Wolfenstein didn't have multiplayer, so if it did, there probably would have been multiplayer DLC instead of single-player, but yes. It's a bummer, but I think Bethesda's learning people have a tolerance for single-player DLC, maybe even a hunger for it. I was very pleased to see the Season Pass for Wolfenstein is 3 single-player DLC packs, and they're not even, like, side stories. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Mwah! Thank you, Bethesda, based Bethesda, for just making more single-player content. That's one of those things, like, I don't typically buy season passes. I think it's fucking dumb to pay for content that doesn't exist yet. But I'm comfortable giving them money to make a statement with that particular thing, because I think that's the sort of thing that needs to be made more of. And they need to know that people want it. And if people don't want it, that's fine too. Why did I get blown away like that? That was weird. Damn it. So whatever. Speak with your wallet, that's how it always is. Fuck, I wasted that quad. Badly. This is gonna be a rough fight. A lot of these guys. Hey! Whoa! Hey yo! Shit. Fucking pinkies. Ooh, that was weird. That was weird and potentially really bad. I hope that enemy dies when it falls off the map. Shit. No, wrong one. There. That'll work. Ah, they were fighting. Demons don't get along. Weird. Damn it, these fucking pinkies are fucking my shit. I wish Titanfall 2 had single-player DLC. Well, these decisions are made with access to a certain subset of data. And at the time, the thinking is changing, but certainly you still have to be, I think, pretty progressive, may not be the right word, but daring to put out single-player DLC. All the data says that it doesn't sell and people don't want it. And I mean, it's not even a... I'm sure single-player DLC can be profitable. Undead Nightmare sold pretty well, but it doesn't make near the amount of money GTA Online does. So if you're a company and you're staring at that delta of revenue, it makes more sense to roll the dice on a multiplayer service as opposed to a single-player product. Which, again, I think Bethesda is really cool in that they greenlit Wolfenstein 2, and they greenlit it without mandating that it have multiplayer. Oh, what's up, Man Mountain? Who's putting out on my anniversary in six months, I think? 3 years? Shit, man. Fuck, I'll have to. I don't really get the hype towards this game's soundtrack. It's great in-game, etc., but in my opinion, it's too repetitive for me to listen to it outside of the game. I mean, yeah, it's pretty repetitive, I guess. But the loops are so good unto themselves. I don't know that it's good, like, turn the lights off, put on a pair of headphones, and listen to it by yourself intently type music. Great workout music, though. It's really good, motivating background music. That's how I tend to use it. Or how I tend to listen to it. Oh yeah, this is when you start seeing the fucking righteous paladin dudes, right? Little laser knights showing you the way, directing you to murder all the demons. God. Look at this fucking thing. Look at this. Some kind of weird mermaid spider thing with an orb of evil hatred burning in it with a wisp of evil energy flying to this fucking core of terribleness, like portal shit. Awesome. But most people just run up and hit E. That's fine too. The Wraith. Alright. Stab it. Is there another fight I gotta do? Yeah, there they are. Like, what's this guy's story? Who is you? They look like Templars. Which makes a whole lot of sense, right? The Crusades? That's great imagery to wrap into a game that's about killing demons. Going to hell and killing demons. Good shit. Good fucking shit, bro. I mean, I'm getting hyped. I'm hyping myself up right now. Oh, Metal Gear Rising, yeah. Now that is a sweet-ass soundtrack. When it comes to, like, metal, new metal stuff.
You must not be allowed to free them.
I'm gonna, though. Oops. Oops. I'm bad at sniping. I always have been. I could never truck with sniper rifles in games. Couldn't do it. Didn't feel right. We get any more Doom on Funhaus? Probably not. Hotline Miami has an amazing soundtrack. That's true. Man, that soundtrack was perfection. Absolute perfection. Yeah. Hey! Where the fuck did you come from? Come on, bruh. Hey! I didn't mean to actually hit me. Don't do that. Imps are rough in numbers, man. They just nick you here and there. Not Nightmare, it doesn't take a whole lot. Hey. Ooh! Ooh! Man, that boot to the jaw. So good. I still remember reading... Like, I still think the way that they rolled this game out was so cool. They had, like, the private demo at QuakeCon. And, like, it was private. They didn't put the video up? No, nothing. They did later, but, like... I think it was that, and then it had the reveal at E3. And I just think it was so cool that they actually did, like, a full-on private... exclusive demo for QuakeCon. Very, very cool of them. I don't know, I still think Bethesda, kind of like Nintendo actually, I give them credit for this too. There are a few companies that can get really big and still maintain a lot of great culture. Just seems to be a weird byproduct that the bigger you get, the more like homogenized you become. Which, I get it, not a bad thing. But Bethesda still, they seem to like get and celebrate their respective audiences, which I really appreciate. Oh, there's getting 25 kills with the BFG. I can do that. Oh! Whatever. What? Ow! Need to get some room here. Okay. 'Cause I don't know where all the enemies are. Ah, there's a guy. Thought I saw green. Fuck. We're gonna go back through. Okay. Fuck. Woo! These fights are getting pretty thick. Would Capcom fall in that territory? Sorta. I think Capcom would if they had a little more money to throw around. Capcom seems like they're always just scraping by. I feel bad for them. They're trying. They got some good projects in the works right now, I think. I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is still kicking around somewhere. That game could really blow up for them. They're doing right by Street Fighter. Street Fighter 5 is a great service. Which is kind of weird to call it that, but that's what it is. I guess they've given Dead Rising plenty of shakes. As sad as it is, I figured they would have canned that series by now. I don't really know what else they have going on. I was glad to hear that they greenlit a lot of projects for Switch after the success of Street Fighter 2. I hope that they're not just ports, but I know that not making ports is expensive and making ports is cheap, and it brings in a lot of money. And they have a roster of very powerful IP I'm sure a lot of people would love to see on Switch. So, whatever. Monster Hunter World. Oh yeah, Monster Hunter. Forgot about that. Yeah, everybody was saying that new trailer was sweet. I need to check that out. I have never been a huge Monster Hunter fan, but I feel like now that it's been refined a bit, and I feel like Switch is a good platform for it too. Why is your cam in the center? It's to mimic / hearken how Doom used to be. The Doom guy there was always a little picture of Doom guy in the middle, looking around. That was like, it was a mechanic that didn't really mean much, but he would like turn and look over his shoulder if there was an enemy behind you. It's kind of a neat idea, but I don't think nobody ended up looking at that. I feel like Rare once had that kind of rep. At this year's Comic-Con, Square Enix had its own centralized games to push to their own fans. Yeah, Square Enix I think understands their fan base for the relative games. I don't think that Square necessarily has as unified a culture as like Bethesda does. But yeah, some of their games, like Final Fantasy XIV, is getting better and better about how it talks to its fans and acknowledges its fans. And especially how it sort of embraces the heritage of Final Fantasy and borrows references and sort of celebrates bits of the IP. Yeah, blood effects. Whenever my health is low, I'll just splash ketchup on my face. After playing Generations demo on the Switch, I think Monster Hunter would be better. Monster Hunter World will be better. Yeah, so the one on... Oh, that's right. World is not the one on Switch, right? Switch is Monster Hunter, like the 4th re-release of Monster Hunter 3 or something like that. I guess World is the new one. The actual new one. So this is, yep, one more monster arena. I gotta murder everything. Get to murder everything. This one's got jump pads. Alright, well, let's do it. Let's do it, gentlemen. That was not intelligent. Whatever. I'm not here because I'm smart. I'm here because I murder fucking demons. Get away! Look at this fucking guy. Get out of here. Get out of here with that shit. No! Not how we play right now. Oh, he got up there quick. Oh. Hey, +1. Band camp, then school starting up got you busy. You don't have anything to apologize for. Or even explain. It's okay. Your presence is welcomed, but not mandatory, and if you got shit to do, you do it. But it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Come on, baby. Yeah, damn it! I needed to glory kill him. What's up, Shin Bro? Ever play Postal 2? A long time ago. I think it was fun for 10 minutes, and then all the novelty wore off immediately. Played a ton of Monster Hunter on PSP when I was younger, and I loved it. I'll totally get Monster Hunter World when it comes to PC. Also might plan on getting Generations when I get a 2DS XL in a few months, because I need to scratch that itch of killing giant monsters with a giant fucking hammer or sword. I couldn't... It made more sense to me when I realized the entire game is a series of very long and complicated boss fights. I was originally like, why does it take 10, 15 fucking minutes to kill a single enemy? And I was like, oh, because they're not trash mobs. This will be one of my rare weekends, rare free weekends, and I'm happy to spend it here. Aw. I understand the feeling, though. There's certainly some times where I have, like, a free evening, and I'm like, gosh, I wish... There's a few particular streamers that are, like, just really comfy, for lack of a better word. They tend to play games that I really like, or they'll find new games that I didn't even know about. Those are the kinds of streams I like the most. Ones where, like, somebody found, like, maybe a weird or old game that I never knew about and kind of plays through it and get to kind of explore it together. Together may be a little strong, but get that sense of it. There's so many just forgotten, weird-ass games littered in gaming's history. I wasted that quad badly. Damn it. I'm over here again. It's funny how I tend to go to the same parts of the combat arenas. This. Pinkies! God damn, you're annoying. It's also a little hard to see the imps on this map. Oh, shit. Ugh. God damn it. Oh, the music's starting. Ow, ow. Fuck. Fuck, shit. Oh, one of you guys. Ugh. Alright, he exploded into bits. Fuck. Shit. Shit! Ugh. Why did I have to hit him directly? Oh yeah. I guess I got chainsaw fuel. Might as well top up on somebody. I feel like there's one imp running around somewhere. Thoughts on Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon? I'm out of the Pokemon game. Have been for a while. I'm guessing they're re-releases. Okay. School starts for me next week. First time in years I signed up because of anxiety and depression. You signed up because of anxiety and depression? I would think that those things prevent you from signing up. But I guess it's a good thing? Sun and Moon were a lot different than the old games? Really? How so? Dark Kyurem. Dark Kyurem? Am I saying it correctly? Kyurem? Oh, finally got help for it. Congratulations! That's awesome. So many people feel so bad about seeking help for things. Everyone needs help for something. And if they don't admit that to themselves, they're going to live their entire lives probably making the same mistakes over and over again, so. Good for you. Gonna get Mario plus Rabbids? Yes! That is another, like... It's funny. Every time a game is announced for Switch, I'm like, yes, that's perfect! That's exactly the kind of game I want on Switch! And then I realize, oh, that's because I want every game on Switch. Every single one. That was creepy. Hold on, let me read about this. Further reading into the Ungmar Codex. Oh, shit. Damn it. Come back. There we go. Wait, what was I reading? It was the Wraiths, right? Oh, okay, yeah. Decoded entry, okay. Kadangir Sanctum. Jesus. Wraiths are elemental beings that inhabit the realm of Argent D'Nur, a world that was colonized in the first stage of Ascension. The Wraiths were defied by the people of Argent D'Nur and protected their fiercest warriors, the Night Sentinels. Well, that must be the Templar dudes. They are believed to have been imbued with a powerful energy. So wait. The Wraiths are protecting... Oh, wait. The Night Sentinels protected the Wraiths. But now they're dead? Or something's siphoning their power? The elemental Wraiths, if they do still exist in Argent D'Nur, have no doubt been corrupted by the power of hell. However, descriptions of the beasts suggest they were terrifying in their own form before any demonization occurred. Protection of these beasts was both a measure to harness the power they generated and also as a defense against them, hence the need for a warrior order to serve as protectors rather than a simple priest caste. Several tablets describe the worship of the Wraiths as a necessity to avoid their wrath. And the Ungmar Codex specifically states that Wraith Call, the sign of an approaching Wraith, caused panic and terror among the people of Argent D'Nur, and also possible that some sacrificial ceremonies were attached to the worship of the Wraiths. Cool. The Night Sentinels stood strong against our legions' conquest of Argent D'Nur, empowered by the Wraith energy, was foiled at every turn. Yet in our darkest hour came a lowly hell priest, Daig Grav, and in his guidance a weakness in heathen of the Night Sentinels was found. Oh, so there was like a traitor sentinel? The bargain was struck thus. For the return of the betrayer's only son, lost on the battlefield, Dagrov, must be taken to the source of their power, the elemental wraiths. Led there by the wretched betrayer, Dagrov, and his cabal, set a curse upon the wraiths as they slept, and used their essence for our own devices. With the power of the wraiths, they formed the well, that which brings us upon our enemies. Thus, the city of Argent and their false gods fell under the unholy might of the Hell Priests. For his payment, the betrayer's son was returned to him in our form. Is Doomslayer the son of this dude who sold out? What the fuck's going on here? The icon of sin was brought upon the heathens. His vengeance was swift and merciless. That is Doomslayer! For the wages of treachery are suffering. With the fall of Argent D'Nur, the realm was taken into ours. Their temple and ruins, carved into the rock and edifice, was all absorbed into our realm, taken as trophies of our triumph. So wait a minute. One of the, like, knight protectors of these wraiths sold them all out. As a result, his son was turned into a... or his form became human. And he took it upon himself to sort of make good for his dad's betrayal by killing all the residents of Argent D'Nur who are now turned into demons because they invited demon energy in by forming the well? Is that what this shit is? Damn. Okay, so this is for Pokemon. HMs are removed, leading to a lot more fun with your Pokemon builds. Tons of new abilities were added, changing up the game's playstyle. Trials were added, trying to say a step up from gyms. Gyms were the same constantly, albeit a gimmick from time to time, didn't feel special. Trials made you keep guessing. The Alola region, in general, is pretty rad, since each region has its own, what, sorry, it seems like you kind of dropped off there. Oh, theme of sorts. The difficulty curve was improved. When the previous games felt difficult, you could manage difficulty using XP share and Pokemon refresh. Writing was a lot better, IMO, and the story was slightly less predictable. I cared more about the characters than before. Oh, Kyurem is a Pokemon. Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. Okay. That's actually pretty promising. That sounds like it actually addressed a lot of the things that I got bored with in Pokemon. You mentioned the builds, though. I know that at some point, high-level Pokemon was just like... there was a lot of RNG involved with stat generation. Like, you had to just grind it until you got shinies and stuff like that. Did they fix that, or is that still part of the game? Is no one in Funhaus into PUBG? No, we all play PUBG. Okay, so here, I guess these are like the fucking Protector Knights. And they're helping me because I am, I guess, releasing the wraiths from demonic control? Is what I'm thinking? I'm down with that, man. I'm down with that. It's interesting that maybe that's the last boss you fight. Maybe that's like the betrayer. Maybe you go and kill your demon daddy. This is the last boss, right? Oh no, wait, it's Olivia. This is like the second to last boss, I think.
So much.
Because she becomes the spider thing, right? I didn't even know there was a story to this game. Chinbro, there is, and when I played it the first time, when I got to this level in particular, when they started showing the knights and stuff, I was like, there's something going on here. Yeah, the cyber brain or whatever it's called. So I guess it's just the demonic version of Olivia. Oop, wrong gun. Okay. Uh-oh. Whoa! What the fuck, man? She's got a lot of health. Oh, Jesus. How the fuck do you not... okay, I'll have to figure that out. Oh, those turn into health. Okay. Oh, I'm dead. I thought the thing was that Doom guy is the Doomslayer, who was one of the Templars, and has been in hell for ages just killing demons until they trapped him. I mean, yeah, but there's more... It seems like there's more even to the setup of that. Like, who the Doomslayer is, where he comes from. The sun came back in demon form, not human. The sun became the icon of sin. Oh, never mind. I must have misread it then. I thought it said something like our form, and I assumed that meant it was a... I guess it wouldn't make sense that I would be getting logs from a human perspective in hell. Jesus. What the fuck? How do I not... Do I crouch that? I think I probably crouch it. Okay, yeah, you do. Okay, that's not so bad. Ow. Shit. What the fuck? How do I not get hit with that? Damn it, it didn't turn into health. Alright. Oh, shit. There's another BFG still over here somewhere. There we go, I got it. Shit, man! Urgh. Shoot the brain, not the armor. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to get to choose what I shoot most of the time. I think it's going to be a lot of me shooting. You ever play Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring? I remember being obsessed with it as a child for PC. I don't think I know that one. I'll try doing brain targeting. But, yeah, see, it's going to be mostly, like, whatever I hit. Actually... Oh, wrong gun. There we go. Fuck. Ah. A couple of BFG cells around. Come on, where are you? There you are. Damn it. How dare you dash out of the way? Fuck me. It hurts so bad. I need that health. I need it badly. It's not much health. Oh, thank you. Oh boy. What the? Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay. That health go away? What? Oh, okay. Well, this game has a lot of crazy and fun lore sprinkled throughout it, like how the Doomslayer was gifted his speed and strength from an angel. Fucking rad. That is fucking rad. Was the game where they had the rights for the books but not for the films. It's so much more faithful than to the Lord of the Rings story. Tom Bombadil is even in it. I mean, it's flawed and imperfect, but still super charming. Ah, I think I remember that. I remember that. I definitely remember there was like a Super Nintendo game that had... It was like well before the movies were even a thing. And it was weird and not good. But I loved it because it was Lord of the Rings and I'm a dork. Kind of mandatory. What are you doing? What is this? Ah. What the fuck? Those grenades? She? Shit. Oh. Trying to think of another... Yeah, I guess that'll work. Whoa! That does almost no damage. The range I'm at. I need ammo. Have. Shit. Fuck. Fuck. How do I know when you're gonna do the spiky thing? Ah! Okay, it's just part of this. Part of that. Okay. Ah! No! Ow! What the fuck was that? Ooh! Do I have to glory kill it? What's going on? There we go. Oh, shit. Jesus. Jesus Christ. Government my ass says, hey guys, how do you deal with it when your wife gets angry at you? I caught her sleeping with my friend the other day and yelled at her. I know I shouldn't have yelled and I feel super bad. Should I buy her flowers? Flowers is a good place to start.
It's over.
Find a hotter friend for her to bang.
Invasion and close the portal. But it's come at a price. Argent, Vega, this entire operation.
Rivera and Karen Thoth.
To understand your motivation.
Thank you for the Prime subs.
You think the only way is to kill them all, leave nothing behind.
Fuck yeah.
And you may be right. But we can't just shut it all down. Without Argent energy, it will be worse. I don't expect you to agree.
This ending makes me mad.
We can continue.
It's a pretty big cock tease, right?
I am not the villain in this story.
Yeah, you are, dude.
I do what I do because there is no choice.
Uh-huh.
Rerouting tethered coordinates complete.
Our time is up. I can't kill you, but I won't have you standing in our way.
Jesus Christ. He gets a fucking doom saber.
Each other again.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. And yeah, it's a bit of a, you know, whimper of an ending, but I'm down, man. I'm fucking down. This game was so good. Come on. This credit sequence is dope, too. Chinbro says Hayden basically sends it back to hell, so he's gonna fight his way to kill him, maybe? I think that's the idea. Doom, that's sort of the flow that Doom 1 to Doom 2 had, the original. It's funny, the narrative behind Doom 1 and Doom 2, the original games, is pretty great. You're just a dude who's like the last living Marine, and you kill everybody, and then at the end of Doom 1 you're tired, but there's more demons, so you get back up and kill everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna stream something else. I think I'm gonna switch over to Wipeout. Which is a game that I've been meaning to play. I've been trying to charge my fucking controller, but being a real bitch about it. How to get this fucker to charge, man? I have the worst luck with PlayStation 4 controllers. Actually, like, I had the same problem with PlayStation 3. Ah! They just wouldn't fucking charge. Like, look at this. I'm trying to get it to go, and it's like, it's flickering on me. There. And this is a good cord, too. It's just like the port's all fucked. I don't know what the deal is. Ugh. It's like I have to push it in just a little bit. I can't click in, because then it won't... Do I just hold it like this forever? Nope, because now it's not charging. Damn it. Let's wipe out the N64 game. I mean, there was an N64 wipeout, but it was mostly a PlayStation thing. Wedge it with a book. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to, like, get it to dangle off my shelf in just the right way. Come on, baby. Oh, fuck it. It won't do it. Also, just the battery in the DualShock 4 sucks dick. It lasts, like, 5-6 hours, even when it's fully charged. I also have this issue with DualShock 4 where even if it's plugged into the PS4, it won't charge. And sometimes, even if it does charge, the controller will lock up for about a minute, like it won't respond to anything, and then it'll turn itself off. I have to use a 3-inch micro USB charger or it won't charge. Yeah, I don't get it. Everything else is... USB is such an open thing. I can't even plug it into a powered USB port and have it charge. I don't want to... Oh, that's so cute! Man, this fucking take on the E1M1 is so good. Listen to this forever. That's awesome! Look at all those cool dudes! Ready to kill some fucking demons. And they have their take on the original Doom cover. They even animate it. So good. So fucking good. Shit. I think it won't charge when the PS4 is turned off, but it will when it's in rest mode. I mean, my PS4 is on and it's not charging. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, Mick Gordon's work, Thornius, I agree. Killer Instincts soundtrack is phenomenal. Yeah. Just get yourself the knock-on Revolution shit, not wireless, but worth the money. Oh, is it like a really good wired PS4 controller? That'd probably help, yeah. I thought it was awesome too at Game Awards when Mick Gordon did his performance. He mixed in a track from Quake 2. I think Sasha, Sonic Mayhem, was there. Like that was some real nerd shit, man. That's stuff that I never thought I'd see happen. People performing Doom and Quake music live. The people who composed it, so good. I was laughing hard when I read that Mick Gordon made the soundtrack for a Shovelware Nicktoons game as well. Hey, you gotta work, you know? Work is work. I have a bottom charger station, so I don't have to deal with the tiny top plug thing. Craig, I have one too now, and it is actually fantastic. I had issues with my other PlayStation controller, but Stephanie got this, like, charging dock that charges the Move controllers, it holds the PlayStation VR, and it has ports for the controllers. It's like everything PlayStation. It's actually pretty great. A little bulky, but that shit's bulky, so there's no getting around it. Ooh, hold on. Cookie Cutter's got a not safe for work link. Oh, that's cute. Just somebody having a little milk, and then they gotta laugh. You played Journey or Flower? I played Journey and I haven't played Flower, which is weird. I should play that. Wait, did I not get a sweet Steam Achievable for beating it on Nightmare? I don't think I did. Well, that's a bummer. Ah, well, who cares? End of that chapter, I guess. Now let's see how much disk space I get back. I mean, achievements on Steam don't mean anything. They're not really meaningful, unlike Xbox achievements. Well, it's syncing a save, which is taking a long time for some reason. At least you have video evidence. Yeah, that's true. I don't know, it was really hard at the beginning, but the difficulty curve kind of flattened out on that as the game went on. Yeah, I think it was like 70 gig. Oh well, who cares? Yeah, it's interesting. Once you get like 200 health and 100 armor and get some runes that help you drop armor, it gets to be pretty... It flows pretty easy from there. Your Xbox gamer score literally makes your wee-wee bigger. That is true. That is absolutely verifiably true. Alright, I'm gonna... Hopefully my controller's charged enough to get going. Man, please don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch on me. Maybe it's something with this cable? I've had it before, and this happened to me with 6-axis as well. I'd plug in it with some USB cords. It would charge for like 5 seconds. Then the controller would lock up, like I said, turn itself off. So I don't know what the fuck, man. Is there just like some kind of cord that it needs? Who knows? Who knows? There was a different kind of cord I was using that was working pretty well. But I switched to this one thinking that it would be better because the actual, like, it plugs in really well. Who cares? You guys don't care about this. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break, use the bathroom, switch over, and race some. Do some racing. Alright, see you guys in a bit.
Man, what a pleasant surprise!
What would you do without me, Kyle?
I'd be a content old man.
Somehow I don't see content or an old man. So much for the relaxing chat.
Jan, meet me at the top. I've got to get that disc.
It's here. The Strategic Commander, the first controller designed specifically for the PC strategy gamer. The Strategic Commander connects to your PC via a USB connector and complements the use of the mouse and keyboard in strategy games. It works with your existing strategy games and will work with new games now and in the future. In 2D games, use the Strategic Commander to move around the battle map while keeping your mouse free to select units or buildings as they appear. In 3D games, use Strategic Commander's navigation capabilities to give you the winning advantage. You can program the Strategic Commander to execute commands at the touch of a button. You can program your Strategic Commander's buttons to execute simple commands, such as creating a single building, or more complex commands that include multiple tasks, such as creating military units from multiple buildings. These tasks that would have required multiple keyboard commands now can be accomplished with a single press of a button on the Strategic Commander, greatly increasing your efficiency. The 3 shift buttons located on the side of the controller allow you to program up to 4 commands to buttons 1 through 6. Advanced players can use the 3-position profile switch on the base of the controller to access 3 separate profiles during their game. This increases the number of possible program commands to 72, enough to enhance every gaming experience. Use the record button on the controller's base to program commands during gameplay. Here's how it works. First, press the record button once. Next, press the button you want to program. That button will start blinking. Now, execute the sequence of commands you want to program, and when you're finished, hit the record button again to end the programming sequence. Now, every time you hit that button, it will execute this new command. The Sidewinder Strategic Commander software comes with over 30 strategy game profiles and gives you a single, easy-to-use interface for viewing, editing, and managing them. The software also allows you to completely customize the device for your own particular style of gameplay. The Strategic Commander software also comes with a complete online user's guide, accessible either from the Help menu or by clicking on the User's Guide link in the bottom corner of the software. You now have all the knowledge you'll need to make the Strategic Commander your secret weapon. Use its power to crush your opponents and achieve flawless victory over all your challengers.
My name is Penn Jillette, and I'm more than half of Penn and Teller, a comedy magic duo. Go out, you buy a camera, You buy the Toaster 4000, a video deck or two, tape is cheap, and the Toaster 4000 is cheap. If you were going to buy all this stuff to make all this video the way they do it on networks, it would cost you $378,000. With the toaster, when you're all done, it's going to be a few grand.
The first time I saw the Toaster 4000, I was blown away. I've never seen anything like that, ever. It was incredible. I knew I had to have one. They told me it would let you make videos just like the networks. That all seemed really cool, but I knew that with a Toaster 4000, I could do more than that. I don't have to make videos just like the networks. I mean, let's face it, the networks suck.